Meeting of the Nepal-India Joint Commission is slated to begin in Kathmandu tomorrow. A team led by Indian Minister for External Affairs S. Jaishankar is arriving Kathmandu at 10 a.m. tomorrow to attend the meeting. Two major agreements are to be signed during the meeting, while several ministries have made preparations to furnish their proposals. These proposals include air route permit and revision of trade treaty. Meanwhile, 3 transmission lines are also to be jointly inaugurated by the foreign affairs ministers of the two countries. Good evening, I'm Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. 7th meeting of Nepal-India Joint Commission to begin in Kathmandu tomorrow. A team including Indian Minister for External Affairs S. Jaishankar to lead the delegation of India in Kathmandu for the meeting. Nepali Congress and CPN Center appear positive on allocating seat for main opposition CPN-UML from the National Assembly election. Final equation yet to be decided. Hezbollah says Israel's killing of Hamas leader will not pass without punishment. Israeli military says it is in high readiness for any scenario. And Armed Police Force left the Prime Minister Cup Women's National Cricket Tournament for a record 6th time. Defeat Koshi Province by 11 runs in the title decider today. 7th meeting of Nepal-India Joint Commission begins in Kathmandu tomorrow. A team including Indian Minister for External Affairs S. Jaishankar is arriving in Kathmandu for the meeting slated for tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. Issuing separate notices today, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Nepal and the Indian Ministry of External Affairs formally informed about the meeting. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the meeting is to delve into several aspects of bilateral relations and aid. It has been learned that foreign ministers of both the nations are to jointly inaugurate 3 transmission lines of 132 kVA capacity. The Indian team, which will arrive Kathmandu at 10 in the morning tomorrow in a special aircraft of Indian Air Force, will be welcomed by a team led by Foreign Affairs Secretary Seva Lamsal. Meanwhile, several ministries of Nepal have made preparations to present different proposals at the meeting of the Nepal-India Joint Commission, slated to begin in the federal capital tomorrow. 2 major agreements are to be signed during the meeting of Nepal-India Joint Commission. During the presence of foreign affairs ministers of both countries, agreement for the trade of 10,000 megawatt electricity in 10 years is to be signed. The agreement is based on Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's declaration during Prime Minister Kamal Dahal's India visit last year, where he said that India is to import 10,000 megawatt electricity in the coming 10 years from Nepal. The Indian Council of Ministers then made an official decision to import 10,000 megawatt electricity from Nepal. Another agreement is to be reached regarding expansion of budget of the high-impact community development project from 50 million to 240 million rupees. After the meeting, 3 132 kVA capacity transmission lines are to be jointly inaugurated by the 2 ministers. These are Raksol Parwanipur, Kushaha Kataya and Naitanwa Mainaya transmission lines. Ministry of Commerce and Ministry of Tourism and Civil Aviation are also making preparations to furnish their proposals to India. According to the Ministry of Commerce, efforts are to be made to form a joint secretary-level committee for review and amendment of trade treaty. Efforts are also underway to impose tax on agricultural products imported from India. Nepal has also made preparations for proposals including removal of quota system imposed on Nepal's exports, removal of anti-dumping duty on jute among other products, and recognition of quality certification issued by each country. The Ministry of Tourism and Civil Aviation has made preparations to seek new air routes for Nepal entry through Vairahua, Nepalganj and Mahendranagar. Nepal has also made preparations to propose for approval of direct flight to several Indian cities from Pokhara International Airport. It has been learned that the ministry is also to propose flight permit for Indian cities to Buddha and Himalayan Airlines and Delhi flight for Nepal Airlines from Vairahua and Pokhara. A meeting of joint secretaries of the Ministry of Energy of Nepal and India was held today. Minister for External Affairs of India S. Jaishankar, Indian Foreign Secretary Binay Mohan Quatra, Joint Secretary assigned with the responsibility of Nepal desk Anurag Srivastav, spokesperson of the ministry Arindam Bagchi, and officials responsible for border management under the ministry are to arrive Nepal for the meeting of the Joint Commission. During the meeting, Indian Foreign Minister is also to hold parleys with President Ramchandra Orel, Prime Minister Dahal and senior politicians. Ruling parties Nepali Congress and CPN Maoist Center have appeared positive on allocating seat for main opposition CPN-UML from the National Assembly election, which is slated for January 25. At the meeting of the two parties held at the official residence of the Prime Minister in Bahadur, leaders formed a common opinion regarding the share of seats. The second round of meeting of the ruling parties to reach a decision regarding the share of seats at the National Assembly, however, ended inconclusive and will continue tomorrow morning. The Election Commission has set January 8 for nominations for the election. Election for the 19 seats at the National Assembly will be held on January 25. Of the 20 seats going vacant on March 3, one seat is under the quota for nomination. Earlier, parties of the ruling coalition had reached a decision to retain their seats and share the seats currently belonging to UML. The ruling coalition is also in favor of endorsing laws related to transitional justice on the basis of consensus after separating a few seats for CP and UML. The number of applicants for language test has increased after the EPS Korea branch under the Department of Foreign Employment extended the deadline by 2 days. Deadline for application for the productive sector or manufacturing sector, even for those who had applied for shipbuilding sector in Korea, has been extended to January 5. The deadline was extended after technical issues in online application during the previous deadline, which was set for January 3 today. Prior to this, 2 youth were killed at Balkumari of Lalitpur during a protest on December 29, where the youth had demanded their eligibility for application. After the unfortunate incident, the court had issued an order directing allowing applicants and applications from anyone interested. The Judicial Service Commission has appointed Secretary at the Judicial Council Devendra Raj Dahal as the Chief Registrar at the Supreme Court. Today's meeting of the Commission decided to promote Dahal as the Chief Registrar. Meanwhile, Joint Registrar Bimal Paudel has been promoted to Registrar. The positions of Chief Registrar and Registrar had gone vacant after Lal Bahadur Kumar and Nirmala Paudel were recommended for High Court judges. Meeting of the Judicial Council held immediately after that of the Judicial Service Commission has also appointed 39 judges at the High Court. The Council appointed 39 judges at the vacant positions in High Court, including 26 district judges, 4 from Judicial Service and 9 legal practitioners. One position still remains vacant at the High Court. Interesting story up here. A person who was presented at the Kathmandu District Court for extension of judicial custody has escaped. Kamalkuta, who was arrested for dollar fraud, has managed to escape from the district court. A team from Maharajganj Police Circle had presented him at the court earlier today. According to police, search for Khadka is underway. First General Convention of Nagarik Unmukti Party is to begin from January 11 in Tikapur of Kailali. At the press meet organized in Dhangadi, Nagarik Unmukti Party leader Resham Lal Chaudhary said that preparations for the General Convention had reached the final phase. Around 8,000 representatives from across the country are expected to attend the 3-day General Convention. A total of 501 members, including 39 officials, are to be elected from the General Convention. Senior leaders of all parties are to attend the General Convention, which will be inaugurated by Prime Minister Dahal. Representatives of Bharatiya Janata Party of India, alongside those from Kenya and Thailand, are also to attend the General Convention. The party has claimed that the inauguration ceremony is likely to be attended by more than 100,000 participants. Nagarik Unmukti has 1 federal and 3 provincial ministers. The entity had emerged after the Tikapur massacre in Kailali. Bahadur Gurung and Vishar Orel of Pokhara, who previously were at large after an arrest warrant was issued against them for embezzlement of funds of Surya Darshan cooperatives, are being presented at the court again to record their statements. Member of the Operators Committee of the cooperative, Orel, and former operator Gurung, who were previously at large after being alleged of embezzling around 1,355,382,000 rupees, had reached the court yesterday to record their statements. Kaski District Court's Information Officer Suraj Adhikari has said that statements have been recorded from both of them today as well. They are under the custody of District Police Office, Kaski. Prior to this, Kasket District Court has sent Treasurer of the cooperative Kumar Ramtel on October 8. Meanwhile, Chief Administrative Officer of Kusma Municipality, Bahadur, who was arrested while receiving a bribe during the expansion of the cooperative's area, has been sent to jail. Parazuli is alleged of receiving 10,500,000 rupees in bribe. Shortage of vaccine against rabies has been reported in the government-operated health institutions in West Nawalparasi. The vaccine, which was available for free of cost at health institutions, including District Prithvi Chandra Hospital, Parasi, is no longer available. According to the Prithvi Chandra Hospital, it has been facing the shortage of the vaccine for the past 15 days and had demanded supply from Province Medicine Supply Department. With the vaccine not available at the government-operated hospitals, patients have been compelled to purchase them by paying up to 800 rupees from private clinics. Around 7 patients reach the district hospital for the vaccine against rabies every day. Demand for vaccine against rabies has risen in the headquarters Parasi after the cases of dog bite increased in recent time. A record of tourists' arrival was set in the Annapurna region in the year 2023. According to the Annapurna Conservation Area Project, ACAP, highest number of 181,000 tourists had reached the region previously in 2019, while the number has increased to 191,558 foreign tourists last year. Of them, 96,187 were Indian nationals, with the rest belonging to France, Germany, the United States of America, the United Kingdom and China. Tourists prefer the Annapurna Circuit, Mardi, Ghandruk, Tilicho Lake Manang, Thorangla, Upper Mustang and Ghodepani Magdi in the region. Dadiraj Subedi has been felicitated with Leknath Campaign, in fact Chapa Memorial Award. Virat Dharma Shastra Museum and Library felicitated Subedi with the Leknath Chapagai Memorial Award. As Subedi is ill, the award was handed over to his son Rupak Raj Subedi. The award comes with a cash purse of 51,000 rupees. The library awarded Subedi for his contributions in the Nepali literature sector. Meanwhile, the library has also provided scholarships to Muskan Gupta and Samriddhi Nirola, students of grade 10 at Biratnagar's Satyanarayan Secondary School. It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, what is your take on the government's failure to provide temporary arrangements for earthquake victims despite the lapse of 2 months? Your options are A, federal government's apathy, B, inability of the local levels, and C, lack of coordination. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And now, before we wrap up, here's a look into the top stories one more time. 7th meeting of Nepal-India Joint Commission to begin in Kathmandu tomorrow. A team including Indian Minister for External Affairs S. Jaishankar to lead the Indian delegation in Kathmandu for the meeting. Nepali Congress and CPN Mahasantha appear positive on allocating seat for main opposition CPN-EML from the National Assembly election. The final equation yet to be decided. Hezbollah says Israel's killing of Hamas leader will not pass without punishment. Israeli military says it is in high readiness for any possible scenario. And APF lift the Prime Minister Cup Women's National Cricket Tournament for a record 6th time, defeat Kushi Province by 11 runs in the title decider held today. That is all for the moment. Our next English bulletin is at 10:30 p.m. Thank you for staying with us. Goodbye for now.